this image better. So I'm going to go into the edit, and I'm going to make sure that my histogram is turned on. Okay, so make sure view that I can see the histogram, it's on. And I'm going to go start at the top. I'm going to go with light. Now, what I don't want is, I don't want to just increase the exposure, because what will happen is that will drag my whole, all the pixels over to the right side, and you'll see right in here it gets overexposed. So what I do know is I can bring up the shadows. So I'm going to look here, and what that does, when I bring up the shadows, it moves these shadows over towards the midtones. So I can bring up the shadows quite a bit there, and it's not going to overexpose. Let me toggle that on and off. There you go. You can already see bringing up the shadows has worked. I also know that if I increase the brilliance, it actually also will not, it'll bring the histogram over towards the brighter side, but it will not overexpose it. So it's going to, I can do that. Usually I go too far and then come back. Now, I want you to look at this section right here of the dog, because you might think, oh, it's good, it's bright, but look what it's done. You see that halo there that's coming in? I want to make sure I don't do that. So I'm going to dial that back a bit, actually a little bit more than I thought. There you go. So I could explore that. Now, normally I'd look up the left-hand side of my frame and look at the black point, and I'd see, is there a spike there? And there is. I don't want to push this too far. I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to leave that. That's okay. I'm going to come in here and take a look at the color. Now, I could, if I play with the contrast of colors, it's actually going to separate the colors a bit. And again, sometimes I like to play with it and then toggle it on and off. A little bit more color there. What I actually might also do is I might go down to selective color when we're talking about color, and I might use the eyedropper. Maybe I'll come in here and get some of this color that's there and increase the saturation of that a bit and see how that looks. So play with that, turn that sort of on and off. I want it to be a bit subtle. I don't want it to overpower. So I like how that's looking. There's one more thing that I might do. I'm going to look at the retouch. See this reflection on his nose? I'm going to, let's get a size of brush that's good enough. Yep, click on there. All I do is click on it, and then it's going to use the pixels around it to figure out what I was trying to do. So I can do, don't forget to do the same in the reflection there. And there we go. And I think that looks okay. One more thing I might do, I might come in and zoom in here and take a look at sharpening. So if I go down to sharpen, you can see actually picture is nice and sharp. I can, let's see what happens when I sort of play with this. Okay, let's turn that on and off. You can see it provides contrast in between the surrounding pixels. That might be a bit too much of a sharpening. Let's try that. Okay, and I usually like to zoom out to see if it's affecting other parts of the photo. There we go. So it's sharpened up a bit. And let's take a look between my edit and the one before. Okay, so hopefully like that one better. Let's do this for one more. Now on this one, I purposely overexposed this part of the frame. I knew that was going to happen. But you'll see that spike on this side. But what I am seeing on the left-hand side is there are actually no pixels that are hitting the left-hand side, the blacks of the frame. So even though it looks like I've got blacks here, those aren't true blacks. So I'm going to adjust the black point until I get a bit of a spike. I don't want too much of a spike. I don't want that sort of to go off the end there. But I want a spike. There we go. And now I can toggle this on and off there. So you can see now that black, that really does look more like black in there. I'm also, let's use the selective color with this one too. Let's try that. I really want to maybe sort of bring up some of this color. So I'm going to use that tool there, and I'm going to increase the saturation. Now, again, probably go way too far and then bring it back a bit. So maybe sort of in there. Let's toggle that a bit. Oh yeah, I like that. That looks better. And let's try some sharpening with this one as well. Wow, okay, that's pretty sharp. That's pretty neat. But let's get in here and see what happens when I sharpen. Oh, wow, look at the details in there. I'm just going to turn that on and off. Don't think it's ruining anything else, but that is incredibly sharp. So again, turn that on and off and see if it's not affecting other parts of the frame. No, I think that looks really good. Okay, so now I'm going to go done, and let's see the difference between the before and after. Okay, subtle little difference with some colors in here, a bit sharper, but I think that those little differences after and before, it really makes the picture a lot better.